Need to say anything. The people who understand the greatness of it and have their own life, that what happened happened.
Jake Paul just dropped a bombshell about his Netflix fight with Mike Tyson. And trust me, this isn't your typical post-fight drama. Sure, the fight was over a month ago and most people have moved on, but not Jake. Why? Because his sponsors are backing out, fans are giving him the side eye, and his reputation is on shaky ground. So what does he do? He goes on Logan Paul's podcast, slaps on a dramatic coming clean title, and spills some jaw-dropping tea, claiming that Tyson was the mastermind behind the entire shady ordeal.
But I do have to be careful in the early rounds because
Honestly, if Tyson's sitting on a $400 million fortune compared to Jake's modest $30 million pre-fight, why would he even bother? Fame? Let's be real. It's Mike Tyson. He doesn't need to step into the ring with a YouTuber for clout. So, what's the real story here?
It's power, man, when you were in there.
I don't remember it.
You didn't even remember it.
Let me just say this, but fair warning, if you take Jake's side, you might walk away hating Tyson by the end.
people are like, oh, it's rigged because look at him on the pads, but he didn't do this in the fight. Because someone is fucking punching back, you dumb fucks. Like,
it turns out Jake Paul knew exactly what he was getting into when he agreed to fight Mike Tyson. During his appearance on Logan Paul's podcast, Jake openly admitted he wasn't deluded. He knew people would hate on him for this fight, no matter how it turned out. And honestly, he embraced it like a pro. This wasn't about winning or losing. It was about the spectacle of a YouTuber squaring off against a boxing legend.
I realized my power.
That is true.
And my jab and my speed and my ability and my footwork to get out of the way of those punches. So then all of a sudden he's throwing at literally air.
Jake practically auditioned for the role of the villain, nailed it, and then cashed in on the performance. Hey, that's just fuel for clicks, and clicks mean money. If controversy were a sport, the Paul brothers would be Olympic gold medalists. But then Logan hit him with a big question, the one everyone was thinking but didn't dare say out loud. Was the fight rigged?
Can't land those punches on him.
Let's unpack that for a moment. Jake didn't outright accuse Tyson of rigging the fight, but let's be real. The implication hit as hard as a punch to the face. He pointed the finger just enough to make you side-eye Tyson. And honestly, it's not like Tyson's financial troubles have been some well-kept secret.
Houses or drugs, girls?
Planes, boat. It's stupid shit,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
fun.
Right. You don't regret any? Do you regret anything?
Yeah, and I didn't pay taxes really at that time.
Sure, Tyson's a legend, but his career has seen more ups and downs than a roller coaster. These days, his business ventures aren't exactly raking in millions. A comeback fight like this wasn't just about flexing his fists. It was about staying relevant, cashing in, and reminding the world that he's still Iron Mike.
Dollars.
Where'd most of it go? Because I'm from Connecticut. I know where your house, your old house, 50 Cent's house now, right? Does he still own it?
I have no idea.
But that house, what had movie theaters? What else in it?
Everything.
Then Jake twisted the knife even further, hinting, without outright saying it, that Tyson might have had to lose as part of the deal. Let that sink in. If there's any truth to that claim, it means Tyson risked his legacy for a bigger paycheck and a chance to stay in the spotlight. And Jake, he walks away as the guy who beat a boxing icon while the internet spirals into debates over whether the fight was even legit.
I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever. But
What are you gonna buy with the money?
probably a ranch.
Here's the kicker. Jake's comment wasn't some offhand remark. It was a calculated move, plain and simple. By tossing out that cryptic "maybe Mike needed it" line, he directed the spotlight from himself straight onto Tyson. Classic Jake Paul. Stir the pot, let the internet run wild with it, and watch the views pour in. People love a juicy conspiracy theory, and Jake served them one on a silver platter.
I was missing
I can't believe he can move like that.
a lot of
So why make a statement like that if Jake had nothing to hide? Maybe it was a preemptive strike, a way to stay ahead of the narrative and ensure the fingers didn't start pointing at him first. Or maybe, in true Jake Paul fashion, it was all about throwing Tyson under the bus, knowing the drama would keep everyone buzzing for weeks. Whatever his motive, one thing's certain, Jake doesn't make moves without knowing exactly how they'll play out.
With the way the night went down.
I wish he would have, like put up a better fight so then I could have like risen more and done more.
Sure, the hype was off the charts. Tyson's a living legend, and Jake Paul knows how to work a crowd. But let's not kid ourselves into thinking this was all about the love of boxing. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. This fight was less about competition and more about business, branding, and bank accounts. And honestly, when you connect the dots, it's hard not to see the strategy behind the chaos.
Surviving,
He was.
so
So annoying.
that was the only thing I didn't like.
So annoying when they don't bring the
Let's start with Tyson's finances. The man earned over $400 million at the peak of his career, only to declare bankruptcy in 2003. Since then, he's explored everything from stand-up tours to selling weed gummies shaped like ears. But despite all the hustle, his recent ventures haven't exactly been home runs. Enter Jake Paul, Netflix, and a $20 million payday for a retired athlete grappling with financial struggles. That kind of money isn't just tempting, it's life-changing. Tyson wasn't just stepping into the ring for sport. He was stepping into a marketing goldmine.
I think Jake's in a lot of trouble.
But here's where it gets even juicier. This fight wasn't just about Tyson making a quick buck. It was about putting himself back in the spotlight. Think about it. His name alone guaranteed global attention. And the fight? It wasn't just a match. It was a stage.
We signed on here to see you. You lit up Tyson 2.0. Last time we saw you in Vegas, you handed me a bag of your Mike Bites, the edibles. Fantastic. I loved them.
Tyson used the fight to promote his cannabis brand, Tyson 2.0, and even teased an upcoming Netflix documentary series. It wasn't just a fight. It was a full-blown infomercial wrapped in a boxing match. If that doesn't scream calculated move, I don't know what does.
They have no expectations. We have expectations. Yo. If I don't get 100 million views, fuck out of here, my neighbor! Right. These guys just want a piece of banana.
They want to eat, live.
They're so hungry. They're starving so much.
Now let's talk about the whispers, the ones suggesting this fight wasn't exactly on the up and up. Jake Paul walked away with a unanimous decision win. And while there wasn't a knockout, there were plenty of moments that had fans questioning things. Some believe Tyson might have agreed to lose for the payday and the exposure. After all, his legacy is bulletproof at this point. Losing to Jake Paul isn't going to erase decades of dominance, but it sure did generate enough buzz to keep the cash flowing.
Oh, yeah. A little bow at the end. He bowed.
That's the last thing I remember.
Dude, there was a lot of people online that said that's when you should have hit him, when he was bowing down like that. That's when you
He's gonna hit me. That's why I was like, what the hell is he?
And then there's Netflix. This wasn't just another boxing match. It was a spectacle designed for streaming. Netflix reportedly tied performance bonuses to viewership and engagement, making the stakes high for everyone involved. Tyson's name guaranteed viewers, and Jake Paul's internet-breaking antics ensured the fight would go viral. For Netflix, it was a gamble that paid off. For Tyson and Jake, it was a massive payday and a chance to dominate the headlines. And so the price for the fans, well, they might have been the only ones left wondering if any of this was legit. Anyway.
for us. We're like, dang, we wanted more. Is there anything about the fight you would have changed based on the experience?
Oh, not at all. Listen, I wouldn't have realized any of it if it went 3-minute rounds. I didn't realize it.
But here's where things take a turn. After the fight, Tyson appeared on Fox Sports Radio, and his comments were, to put it mildly, puzzling. When asked about key moments in the fight, he claimed he kind of blanked out. Blank out during a fight you were paid millions to headline? It gets even better. When asked about holding back punches, Tyson didn't deny it. He simply dodged the question, offering vague and almost dismissive answers. And when pressed if he'd watched the footage back, he flat out said, "No, I have not." For a man who spent his entire career analyzing his performances, this sudden amnesia was, let's say, suspicious. And the timing of his appearance wasn't random. Tyson used the platform to promote, what else? His cannabis brand in upcoming Netflix projects. The whole thing felt less like an honest debrief and more like a promotional campaign. It was as if the fight was just a vehicle to boost everything else Tyson's working on. Fans expecting brutal honesty from the man known for his no-holds-barred persona got vague deflections and a sales pitch instead. Tyson's silence about the fight itself only made things murkier. For a guy who's never been shy about his controversial past, his reluctance to address this match head-on is deafening.
Yeah, it was a real fight.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it.
You didn't even remember it. I heard
But my body was really sore.
It was sore the next